This is Silly Point, an Inside Etown podcast.
Well, welcome, Fletcher and Allan special.
It is what it is.
Retirement special, a very own retirement cake, although we've got to share it with AD, who's also threatening retirement on us. And basically, it's your show. It might be Fletcher and Allan, but I'm going to ask you some questions about how it all began, why we're sat here now, all the way through. So strap in, folks.
Yeah, good to go. So, basically, many moons ago, I think I was probably about 10 or 11, and they was building the Regent Street houses at the time. And obviously me being a good lad, started throwing bricks at them. I was
Terrorising them.
Well, there was netting because the nets were in the corner then.
So those houses there, they weren't there?
They weren't there, they was getting built at the time. So
See, I don't remember that. It's funny, isn't it?
I was a bit younger than you. But
your memory is obviously because you lived there, but
yeah.
I don't
well,
remember.
I used to live
built.
just behind there
I
at
just
Leeds
remember
Street.
them
Yeah.
always being there.
So yeah, so I was obviously being a little.
Toe rag.
Well, yeah.
Didn't have Asbos in them days, did they?
And so yeah, and I was just throwing bricks at them while there was netting. And one lad, Andy Swift. I don't know if you remember Andy Swift. Do you not remember the Swifts?
I remember the Swifts.
Phil and Chris.
I probably wouldn't recognise him if I seen him.
Anyway, Andy said to me, he said, instead of just launching bricks at us, come on over and give it a go. And I remember giving me this Slazenger bat with, it had no grip on it. It was insulation tape. I don't know if that was the
Etown way now.
I don't know if that was the in thing then, but yeah, I got this insulation tape bat, and I was always a bit sporty anyway. Me when I was young.
What colour was the tape?
Black.
It's always the way.
I've honest to God, I could picture the bat now. It was a Slazenger, and it was just like.
So Etown's always been a friendly place. You've thrown bricks over at people, and you've been given a bat.
Well, that's how it all started. It's been downhill ever since for me. But no, I'm only joking. Yeah, so, and he said to me, because I said I was passing the bat back after it, and he said, no, take it home and learn yourself. Throw the tennis ball at the wall and then just keep going. It's in it straight. And like I say, I was even though I was a little rebel when I was young, I was very sporty. Used to play football, used to play rugby for Blackbrook and stuff. So, yeah, I was sporty, but nothing never really clicked with, even bothered me playing cricket. So it was a bit of a weird one, but I just took it to a duck's water really, and the eye coordination was always good anyway.
Well, everyone that would describe you as a cricketer would say you're natural, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Game comes fairly easy to you in terms of the technical side, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, like I say, my hand and eye coordination, and one thing I was good at is just like getting information off people, and then it seemed to stick in with me when I was young. And once I was getting taught to do something, it would stick in. So like playing straight and like I say, I was only a little dwarf. And
A little dwarf. Can we
Well.
say that? On the we're not allowed to use that terminology anymore.
Well, I was very small then. Yeah, so it weren't a case of just hitting it hard at the time, but my technique was from inside 6 months just watching the lads down here netting, and like I say, I was just like watching them all the time, and that's how I learnt my trade really, just with technique wise anyway. And
how influential was Bob Williams on your early technical?
It weren't necessarily
I couldn't help myself, sorry.
No, not Bob Williams. Pete Orton actually. He was one. The Swifts were brilliant, even though Phil Swift made me redundant when he was my manager. But Andy Swift
Was being made redundant or was he sacked?
That was actually a redundancy. That weren't a sacking. That he said to me, he had no choice. Last one in, first one out. Which normally happens in pubs with me.
First one in, first one out.
But no, Andy Swift was a massive help when I was starting, and obviously then it just like went to scoring.
So we had the scoring situation then. So you learnt the game that way.
Yeah. Well.
How long before you put this insulation tape back into action in a game?
Oh.
Would you say you were maybe that was 10, 11?
Yeah, well, basically when I was at school, they didn't do cricket, and I had a word with the PE teacher at school. I said, got some good lads here, and I was only about 12 at the time, but I knew we had, like once in a generation where you get everybody at the same level sort of thing, where you've got a chance to make something. And we weren't playing cricket at Newton High at the time. Anyway, Damien Keegan, Mr. Keegan should I say, he said we'll give it a go, and we ended up making a team out of it, and obviously a lot of them players ended up coming down here.
So the school team was the one that came here, was like the famous one that we had.
Yeah, well it's like under 13s. And obviously you was, you a year older than me?
2 years older, yeah.
And that went into like the 14s, the 15s, but a lot of players, a lot of young lads obviously, jumped onto the bandwagon, and the rest is history with I don't think we've ever had an under 13s ever since.
No, you spoiled it for everyone else. Was that
but
good?
Like you say, going forward, then it was under 14s, under 15s, and we've not really had much more since. It's
been difficult, hasn't it? It's definitely a current bugbear. Everything else that's going well with Etown, that's probably the area that we need to.
Yeah, I think it's like I was lucky at the time. Obviously, I got over here young, and obviously all my mates at school was like, oh yeah, let's do it. So everyone jumped on the bandwagon, and like I say, it was at the right time. Everybody got a grip of it.
Who was the main instigator then within the team, the under 13s here? Who looked after that? Wasn't Dave Mellin, was it?
No, it was a mixture of Dave Mellin and Steve Tomlinson.
Steve Tomlinson, yeah. Of course it was.
I mean, I might talk about Steve Tom later on in this. We had a battered for 20 overs.
Etown legend.
And I kept pinching strike off him, and he was my coach at the time. But
well, before that then, so under 13s cricket, how long before you were playing? What was the senior bit? When did that? Well,
I remember. I remember the under 13s. Like I say, we didn't really have a team here, and then we ended up winning the final at Orrell. Like to me, Ant Woody was a good cricketer actually, underrated. And then I remember coming back here for a Sunday game, and it was great, to be honest with you. The Sunday game was going on, and we was doing like a lap of honour with trophy.
Nice.
So it was made up, and then I don't know if we were looking at towards the end of the season then, maybe even mid-season. I'm not so sure, but I was picked for the second team at 13. Sure, I was 13.
It rings a bell with me, to be fair.
So obviously playing under 13s and then got picked for the seconds and did quite well on my debut, didn't I?
Well, we said, did we, 19, did we say it was 1995? Playing
Yeah,
cricket's
so
got you down
13,
as 13, yeah. Unfortunately, there's loads of holes in that. Those seasons, score books, and everything was scorebook then, wasn't it? So
yeah,
we don't have.
I can't believe that one's still in, actually. How that one's got in.
Well, I think
cricket.
Was it? Did we say it was Ashton on Mersey?
Yeah, it was down
I
there.
think they've obviously had somebody, because there's a lot of their results are in.
Oh right.
So I think they've had someone within their club who's been like a bit of a cricket badger or has found all the old scorebooks and decided to start putting them on play cricket for historical purposes, which is good because it's
good because it's got my debut
I think mine's on there as well, to be fair. But yeah, so we think the second team debut was.
Yeah, I definitely know it was Ashton on Mersey. I was 13 years of age.
Talk us through that then.
Well,
what you can remember of it.
I was. I can't think who was captain at the time, but they asked me to bowl. And
will it not have been Bob Williams? Was he
no,
not captain for years?
Think it was
seconds.
Bob. I don't think it was Bob at the time. I hope not.
It's getting pasting on this particular episode, isn't it?
I don't think it was. Anyway, I was asked to bowl, and for some reason, just kept getting wickets for fun. And that's then with the days. Even at 13, I could turn it both ways. By the way, and the other arm ball, so a bit of variation, which probably got me the wickets, and ended up with a fifer.
When you threw the brick over that day, what was the action on the brick?
That was in swing. That. So yeah, I ended up with 5 wickets on my debut, age 13 for the second team, and I'm not being funny. We in the Manchester Association then was a good standard. Even second team cricket was a good standard.
Absolutely.
So I ended up. A
star was born. Did you bat that day?
I don't think I was needed to bat. But I just remember back in the days then as well. If you got 50, 100 or 5 wickets, you had to get a jug. Even I knew that, being scoring, because I was drinking when I was about 11.
Don't listen, kids.
So basically, I remember legging it home to my mum and I said, "Mum, I need some money got to get a jug for it, lads." She was like, "Why?" I said, "Well, I've got 5 wickets on my debut. I'm like 13 and I need some money."
You had your some money.
So she basically just give me money and just get rid of me probably. And I walked home legless then.
Did you drink the jug yourself? You're supposed to share it out.
No, I didn't come back. I went to Griffin.
Took the money and run. So basically a star was born that day. Really, that was. I think we should remember that as you start, not the brick.
Yeah, well,
forget exactly. The brick. We'll edit the brick bit out. And we'll just go 5 wickets on debut for the twos.
Yeah.
I'll try and find the scorecard, and maybe when we release this, we can perhaps put the scorecard on there as well, so people can have a look.
It'd be quite decent actually to see who was playing with at the time, because obviously it's 30 years ago that.
No,
so
I'd
like to see the scorecard to see who was actually playing.
We'll try and
maybe Bob was my captain.
We'll put a link on to see what we can get when people watch this when it goes out. So how long then from that barnstorming start to second team cricket and running home to get some money for the jug that you obviously didn't anticipate getting? How long then do you know how long it took you then to get first team recognition? Because you didn't play a lot of second team cricket in my memory. I think it was quite soon.
Yeah, obviously I mean, like I say, it was a good good standard. Manchester Association second team cricket was fantastic, and I was doing well, even if I weren't. Obviously, I got 5 for on my debut. I was always chipping in with 2, 3 wickets, and
Good in the
obviously,
field as well.
I was batting down the order. I was only small. I could hardly sit off square then. But I remember going to Living one day and batting, like I say, I was maybe 13, 14.
Just still
and,
twos.
Yeah, and batting like 20 odd overs for the draw. I mean, you spoke about it back in the day. The standard was that good. We would frustrate other teams, and that was the way we could do it. And I remember, I think it was, like I say, 13, 14, batted 20 odd overs. We was something like 80 for 8. I batted 10. My coach batted 11.
Steve Tomlinson, who you referred to earlier.
Yeah, and I think that's the first time I've ever worn an helmet, because they had this ball, he got the first 7 wickets, absolutely clean bowled, and he was steaming in.
There was no restrictions in them days either, was
Well,
there? So
to be fair to him,
he could bowl.
well, obviously we was chasing 200 odd, and we was like 80 for 7 or something like that. Don't get me thingy on that, but they started lobbing it up at me first, and then once it got closer and closer, it started steaming in. But it was just like, back in them days, my technique was, not many people could get me out.
No.
Don't get me wrong, I couldn't get many runs, but my technique was that good. They just couldn't get me out. That was the difference back in them days. We had a game down here that played at Flixton. I was batting with Johnny Barron, and I batted about 30 overs for about 10 that hour. And I ended up getting out last over when we needed 4 to win, and Johnny Barron ended up having a right go at me. But it was like, there's so much in me air, even being a little lad and 13, the amount of barracking I got, I thought it was fantastic. That made me, like, probably the way I bat it now.
It was very competitive, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It didn't matter. I think some of the competitiveness has gone out of cricket.
They was going for the league at the time, and I just remember them all saying, this little, as Rob does from lead now, because I'll just get batting and batting and batting. And there was all in, I think his name was George Deaf. I think he was in the air. He was bowling quick, or he was keeping wicket. I think played for Flixton. And he was proper in the air. Like I say, I was only 13, and they just couldn't get me out. And he kept straight in my face all the time. I think that's where, like, I've got my barracking from.
Well, we've both said on different podcasts or whatever that was our grounding.
Yeah.
It was competitive. There was rules. Every more or less every game was at least one umpire. It was just a different ball game then.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
Yeah, like you say, we was definitely the minnows sort of team, and like you said about back in them days, it was like we was lucky to win 1 game a year, and our wins would be frustrating other teams by drawing
games,
because you'd have winning draws and losing draws and stuff like that back in them days, and that us drawing a game from being 80 for 8 with 30 overs, it would piss them off so much, and it'd end up like they were so mad, like it was crazy, some of the stuff they'd say.
Obviously modern day Earlstown now, most recently for you, what do you prefer, the old school, the timed cricket situation?
Not at all. I'd
want
prefer,
to win or lose?
Yeah, without a doubt. I think, don't get me wrong, bringing up to that, it's just it is good that you fight for your team and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, you just want to. It's like you watch one day cricket now on telly and stuff like that. You want to win or you want to lose, or you don't want to lose, sort of thing. There shouldn't be no place. I don't think
the game.
That's why I don't like
the game on the television game. The televised game has changed so much that it has to have a knock-on effect on club cricket. But I know that obviously we're going into the comp now, the Prem, and I think Division 1, however they section it, will still be. They still play town cricket.
Yeah.
Obviously the competitive, that's the top of this area. They're the best players, and they still play that. And obviously we're going across coming from result, win or lose cricket. There's conversations to be had whether that's going to remain and whether our Sunday section is going to be timed cricket. So if the retirement becomes if you end up stepping out to help us out on a Sunday, it's going to be timed cricket. Now, not to the level of batting for 60 overs and giving us 500 to win and us batting out for the draw in that way. I don't think it's going to be like that. But
I'm not a big fan of town cricket. It might, to be fair, I go watching a bit of Liverpool comp cricket when I can, and some games are absolutely brilliant to watch, exciting with the time cricket and that, but a lot of them are dead rubbers. That's the thing. The difference we've had is you know what you're chasing, you know what the game's all about. You either win, you lose.
I feel like it's geared to individuals. I think teams like heavily reliant on pros, and a lot of them aren't in that standard.
Well, you look.
So you want them to. You don't bring a bowler over from, India, to bowl 10 overs and then not be able to bowl anymore. You want him to do as many overs as he possibly can, and then, go and bat. If you want to bat first, you maybe don't want to restrict him to 45. You want to give him 55, 60 overs to get as many runs as possible and back teams out of the game. But it certainly doesn't affect us. But so your core Earlstown career has always been time cricket, and you mentioned there about the Lytham, and you've said getting sort of barracked and sledged as a not so much a tail ender, but you said yourself you were 10, your coach was 11.
Yeah.
Take us then into when you became the main. You started quickly then from batting at 10 in the twos, albeit taking wickets with the ball. You then went into the first team, and it didn't take you too long to start making your mark there either, did it?
Yeah, I thought I would have been probably 16 playing first team cricket. I probably weren't batting as I then. I was more playing as a bowler and.
I think that was all because you couldn't. You said you couldn't hit the ball off the square in terms of.
I weren't like you say. I batted with you, and then
you were like what did you say before? A little dwarf. You were like one of them, weren't you?
You can miss time one, and I can middle one. And yours will go 10 times further. Especially back in them days, but I reckon I was about 16, 17, and I was playing first team cricket. I was a decent bowler. I remember bowling to a hell of a lot of pros, getting a few out, sending them on the way, because I was a little angry man then.
Yeah, I remember that bit.
So wallop. But yeah, so, and then I don't know why, it just all clicked with me batting, and I was obviously at Lancs for a bit, and I was batting like 7 or 8 at Lancs. And for some reason, I was coming down the order then. And then it's like, I don't know, I started playing more shots. Where I'd normally, in under 13s, under 15s, like as in, I was a bit, saying that, not necessarily I got 120 until when I was 14 at Wesley. But when I played in the league sides, then I realised how good people was. And then you needed to come in later down the order and then do something. Because I was obviously I was an all-rounder, so, and I was captain, and I had some fantastic players. some of the batsmen and the bowlers. So I was like the cog in the middle sort of thing, the Ben Stokes sort of
Was this
thing.
Lancs stuff?
This was
Because
the league side. That
was a league side.
This was the Manchester Association League side. This I was captain. Some great players in that, and that's when it's like even bowling to an unbelievable keeper. Eddie, his name was, from Swinton Moorside, and it was just like with him keeping wicket. This is the difference with the standard. Him keeping wicket made me bowling better because they couldn't charge you because he was going to get stumped and stuff like that. He was back in the ground, little things like that.
Yeah.
And it was just it was a good experience. And
I mean, what
to
a
get
feather!
to know a lot of the because don't forget I was playing against them at weekend.
Yeah.
Even though
Yeah.
I was the captain on the Sunday.
Well, that's just going to say what a feather in the cap for Earlstown to have, because we've always been the minnows in more or less any association we've been in. So to have one of our players not only represent that team but to skipper it, that's probably not talked about enough. I don't think
it was great, to be honest with you. Likes of Phil Ratcliffe used to take me to games, but even the league sides, they had like the umpires picking me up. My parents weren't interested in cricket, not one bit. So even had the umpires that was umpiring the league game that day, they'd pick me up.
And then
because they knew how
I'm assuming you were safe for an LBW then as well, weren't you?
Well, obviously on way when I was talking rubbish with them, you give me out, be smashing your car up, won't get home.
So, speaking of skippering, there's also, it's actually something I really found out the last few weeks, or maybe even just a few days before this now, is I always thought Tony Kelly was the official youngest first team captain of Earlstown, but that's not true, is it, Fletch?
Well, I don't know when he was captain, how old was he?
I think he was 20.
Well, I know after captaining the under-18s league side, the following year I was voted to be captain of the first team at the age, obviously, 18, 19. That's in the Manchester Association, which was unbelievable experience. It was, like I say, you walk out to the middle and you're tossing up with pros, and you need to edit that, tossing up. Basically flicking a coin with some of the pros at, and then I was picked for league side. But yeah, it was. I mean, obviously, it was obviously hard work being a young lad like that. But every single player I had in the dressing room, they looked up to me, and being such a young age, don't get me wrong, I mean, a lot of people my age then probably won't be playing cricket and doing what I was doing at that time. But to be fair to the lads, they absolutely looked up to me. And one thing I had, even at that young age, I mean, you probably vouch for this, is a good cricketing brain.
Yeah, you've always been a brilliant cricketer and I think it's difficult to be a brilliant cricketer and not have a cricket brain, because the two go in hand, don't they? You can be talented, but not quite piece it all together. But you pieced everything together the day after you threw the brick over the wall. It's by the sounds of it. So I think lads wanted to play, or you had that respect of them because you were so good. When you had the little break of playing A and came back, and lads didn't really know all this backstory of what you'd done and stuff, it didn't take them long watching you out there to see, he's good, isn't he? Yeah. I have people who don't play cricket for years, for the last 15, 20 years. People have stopped me, or if they've mentioned you, because you're notorious in the town, Earlstown and Newton, can be in any pub.
That's not a good thing, though.
Any pub in the postcode, and someone will mention Fletch, and they'll sort, oh, you mate of Fletcher's, yeah, and nearly all of them always say, is he that good at cricket? And I'm like, he's better than you can imagine he is, because obviously you act the twat most of the time. But yeah, so I think the reasons that you obviously captained and did so well and felt like lads wanted to play because you were more of an inspiration in the way that you played. You batted and you bowled and you threw yourself around in the field and it rubs off.
This episode is sponsored by Town Furnishing, the best furniture shop in Earlstown.
How many years ago was what?
When I was captain, I would have been 18, 19.
What are you now? 40?
43.
Are you 43 now?
Yeah. I think I am.
What did we do for your 40th? I can't remember that. Must have been good.
I don't remember that either.
How did you go Benidorm? You probably went Benidorm without us all.
I know they had a sweeping work that won't make fucking 20. The sweep's still going on, by the way.
Yeah, I'm out.
Are you out? What did you do?
27 I had.
So it's still going strong.
But yeah, so is there any, from those games then, obviously you captain, young age, Lancs, you've probably missed out quite a famous person that you were in charge of in those days, the Lancs stuff.
Yeah,
do you want to name drop him?
Yeah, I was at a young age. I was captain of Jimmy Anderson, probably the greatest. That was when I think it was 13 at Lancs then. The greatest ever English cricketer for me. And just look at his on paper. But when I was at Lancs, obviously you get to a certain age and then they offer you apprenticeships and that. They didn't offer me one. Probably because I was dicking about most of the time. But yeah, that's... how can you not say he's the greatest cricketer you've ever played with when
still going strong,
captain him?
You and me crumbled into retirement and he's still going. He's captain of Lancs this year.
So yeah, it's just, don't get me wrong, I could have done a lot better when I was younger. Probably at the ale too young and the kebabs and the women.
Kebabs. That's Big Dave's. That's Big Dave's special. The kebabs. Leave the kebabs to Big Dave. Is there a game, particularly in those? So from like 13 to 18, is there an actual match that sticks out? I know one. That would thingy to me in terms of that age group, but obviously this is your special.
It's probably the same one where we're at Newton the Willows.
Yes.
And Aunt Barlow run me out when I was more or less studying.
Yes. Yeah.
Mike Dudley was trying to kill him. Was Danny Gildy knocking about?
Danny Gildy was knocking about. Yeah, he was knocking about.
Bloody hell, we had some characters, didn't we?
What a ragtag bunch.
Yeah. I remember that day, especially obviously I was young. I think you've filled a little bit in with your special, but I was ready to launch back at Barlow when he gave me out when I was more or less studying my crease. And I think he was only chasing about 80 odd.
It wasn't many.
Maybe under 15s.
It wasn't many.
Mike Dudley was steaming in. I think he got 4. I got a few. You got a couple. And the scenes after it was just like, stick that up, yeah. Because Dave had some absolute... To be fair to him, I know they spend a lot on pros and that, but they've had a couple of good lads homegrown. Aaron Scott when we was...
Well, I got him out at LBW.
Danny Barlow was a good player.
Yeah.
Aunt Barlow was shit. And he obviously give me out, but yeah, they had some good cricketers, and to be fair to him, at the end of that game, we was running around like we'd won basically the FA Cup or something like that, and they all shook our hands, and even though I remember back down here, playing down here. It's like there's always a massive rivalry, and hopefully it continues. But I've got a lot of time for Newton, and especially bringing the kids forward and stuff like that. So
They're a brilliant club.
I mean, to be fair to you, Carl, they were struggling for a pitch I played not long back, and you said come down there, and the new some young kids end up playing down there, so it just shows as much rivalry that goes on, we still stick together as a community, sort of thing.
It's cricket, isn't it? It's probably what it's all about. But so other than that, Newton, then, is there an innings or a particular game other than that? Maybe when you're into the seconds or first team stuff, is there anything that springs to mind? A particular innings, a player that you played against that you?
Not necessarily. I'll always remember. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've had a couple of hundreds against a bit of poor bowling and whatever. I remember down here. We played against Highfield. I opened the batting and it was, honest to God, uncovered pitches. Was it Highfield? Or what was the thing from Wigan? Inley
St Peters.
Is that what it was? Paul Mathers steaming in from boundary, bowling about 90 mile an hour. I opened the batting. This is not good, by the way. I'm not saying how good it was, but I think we was bowled out for 60. I opened the batting. I was 42 not out, and any ball in front of square because everything was like chin music over top of the slips.
Helmet or no helmet?
No helmet. No helmet. He was the quickest bowler. One of the quickest bowlers. I faced against, especially on our wicket. Don't forget uncovered pitches. He was running in from the side screen. He used to play for Derbyshire.
Batsman's paradise in them days, wasn't it?
It was, honest to God, mate, it was scary. I was that good, right, to even just get my glove on it. I didn't hit one score in front of square. Everything was rather over at slips, over at keeper. Not by choice either.
And now look at us.
You can imagine though, back in the day, you got a 90 mile an hour bowler bowling on that uncovered. This is what I mean. Phil Ratcliffe got it on the head once when I was young down here, and I come off. I said, "You all right?" He said, "Well, you try bat on it."
This next bit, then, we talked about most of your early years and the Manchester Association when the standard was excellent that we were up against all the time, but we had some good players across that time, that sort of 10-year period, didn't we?
Yeah.
So can we piece together with some honourable mentions? Can we do an Etown top 5 players you played with?
Yeah, I will. I'll give a shout out to.
There's loads in there really that you could
obviously
mention.
I've played with a lot of exceptional players. In my
we'll do
time,
some mentions if you want, and then at the end, what we'll earmark your top 5.
Right. So, I mean,
no pressure.
No pressure whatsoever.
Bob Williams, are you joking?
I mean, I've got to give him a mention. This is the one that out of the players I've played with.
Can we edit this out?
That's not most talented, but really stuck in, and it looked after me as a young lad. Phil Ratcliffe.
Yeah.
And,
Ratters.
Ratters, yeah. You're just my type, and I like it.
Ratters was.
I don't think I could live without you.
Most people listen to this won't have a clue who Phil Ratcliffe is, but he was like Eddie Platt before Eddie Platt was Eddie Platt, wasn't he? But he used to write his own songs and lyrics and stories. Was he a maths lecturer? He wasn't English. Was he maths?
He was maths at Winstanley College.
And very wordy.
Fair play. He proper took me under his wing, and he looked after me down here. Like I say, I didn't really have any family backing playing cricket. He took me every single league side game, everywhere we was playing away, and he took me there. he was absolute legend to me. He even took me to his house once to meet his cats.
Cut. Shit. DB didn't have DBSs in them days. That's horrific. Oh my god. I'm only joking.
But yeah, not the one I'm most talented by far, but he used to open the batting for the first team, uncovered pitches, facing 80 to 85, 90 mile an hour bowling, and he'd stick in with his late cut. That's where I got mine from. The only shot. But yeah, I just want to give him a big mention before I give a mention to the talented players who I play with, like technically, and people who can do damage in a game. So first on the list is Ian McHugh. To be honest with you, played a lot with Ian, dicked about a lot with Ian, robbed the club with Ian. We didn't do a good enough job.
Yeah. I did it
when the caravan with Ian, drunk with Ian, but absolute quality cricketer, bat and ball.
Can I just say one thing about the that infamous night? Is I had nothing to do with it.
Hang on, is he editing
I had nothing to do with this particular incident. Sunday morning, come to play a Sunday game, put my hand in my gloves, and they were piss wet through. And I was like, looking up, thinking, what's a bit of leak? I'm wearing my stuff, so...
I didn't have your gloves, mate. I pinched Mike Dudley's gloves for forensics.
So, for the record, whoever it was that may or may not have tried to break into the Viaduct Club used my gloves to not leave anything.
Can I just say, mate, I was 15 years old.
It's a good job I was only about 17, otherwise the heads would have come off.
No, but at 15 years of age, I only left the door open because I wanted another drink. We didn't want to rob the place, we just wanted another drink.
The late knocking, yeah, that's fine, that's fair enough. And that's... Thank you, Your Honour. My client has nothing more to say on the matter.
But yeah, Ian McHugh, absolutely awesome cricketer. Like you say, bat ball, as good as I've played with. So yeah, he's one of my top five. Well, go on to me.
Should we write these down?
I'll go on to me second one.
So Etown number one out of your five is Ian McHugh, yeah?
Not necessarily in any order.
So just your five, okay. But he's the first name in there.
But yeah, I think he deserves a massive mention. I played a lot of cricket with Ian.
I'll just put robbery in brackets there.
Yeah, just.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, break-in, not robbery. Break-in. There we go.
We just wanted another drink.
Officer.
Yeah. Matt Taylor. Now, a lot of people don't know Matthew Taylor. He ended up one of my good mates as a young lad, playing cricket with him through Lancs, Earlstown. I think he played for Marsley when I was playing under 13s, and then we got him down here with his brother Joe. We ended up getting him pissed at 14 and throwing up. Do you remember them days?
I remember he was on the table here. It's like semi-unconscious. Yeah.
I don't think his mum and dad wanted him to come back after that.
Good times.
But Matt Taylor was... he was... To be fair to him, he ended up playing professional football. And
he's managing, isn't he?
He ended up being manager of Rotherham, didn't he? Was it Rotherham or something?
I think Exeter's won. Maybe even Charlton Athletic at some point. Tried to get a signed shirt off him, but we could never. I always
see his mum when I was allowed in Wigan to watch rugby. She used to always shout behind me.
Another place he's banned from, DW Stadium.
Matt Taylor was absolutely gifted with talent, bowling, batting, fielding. and I'm not putting. I'm going to put them as together with Joe as well. Joe.
So are these taking up one spot?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
The Taylors.
Yeah, because the Taylor brothers. Joe was absolutely.
Was he left-handed?
Left-handed bowler.
Yeah, he was good.
Well, obviously growing up, he was like rapid compared to
I
everybody
remember him.
else.
He wasn't as much fun as Matt, was he?
No.
He didn't play out with us, did he? After time.
Well, we didn't do Matt any favours, did we?
No. He's had a decent career, to be fair.
I know, but we didn't.
We made him resilient.
We didn't send him in the right direction.
We give him the resilience he needed. I'm gonna say I wasn't nothing to do with these.
If you ever see this, Matt, I can be an assistant for you if you want. But yeah, the two Taylor brothers was a big influence. Me playing junior cricket more than anything.
They were very good.
Right, so next on my list.
Got 3 left.
3 left. Well, I'm going to go for yourself, Carl.
Thank you very much. Is it because I'm sat here?
Right, that'll do.
So I get 3, 4 and 5 then, that's it.
Now, obviously, growing up here, being in juniors and dicking about and getting suspended and wagging school here for Steve Backley's and trying to do your
I didn't
dad's
get
house up
suspended.
and stuff just for a bit of a breakfast. But no, your talent, the way you can hit a ball is immense. I've always looked up to you with especially your cricketing skills, but I think going forward, I've always looked up to you man management more than anything. The way you speak to players, the way you run a team, the way you get the best out of players, and even like I say, I weren't here all the time. I've been down. I've threatened everything going, but you still stuck with me and still
That's what mates
been
do,
an
innit?
absolute legend to me. So
you talk maybe a bit more about my cricketing ability
I'm
than
not giving you
me being a good friend. I mean, fuck me.
I hardly played me.
I hardly played you. Right, skip that bit.
When you got all your runs, I was at Grange.
How dare you? Well, moving on then. We've got 2 left. You prick.
What else do you want me to say? I know you've got a fucking good editor, mate.
A good head of hair, did you say?
Ladies.
Come on then, Etown's best. 2 left you've got.
Right, I've got 2 left. There's
a lot of these are old school ones. Have you got any in your thoughts of like Etown Mark II? So you like your second stint fully. Is there any there that you would put in the Etown great column?
No, I've got a couple of names, and I've got it's not going to be the top 5, but I think Adam Garrett, technically one of the best players I've played with, and I mean, I know he's come down here and been injured most of the time, but his technique wise, absolutely fantastic. I've got a lot of time for people with proper talent, and he has got proper talent. I've batted him a few times, and we're like, when we're batting together, we do quite well actually.
I think it says a lot when other teams comment on your players as much as they do about Adam, and I know he's had offers to go elsewhere and up to now refused them all. He's loving it with us, but yeah, there's no one's asking to sign Harry McCormick, are they? Do you know what I mean? No. So it's definitely an indicator when opposition players are desperate to take him away.
It's like you've been touted all them years, and Adam, you just know when when there's talent there, and one person can change the team, and that's the difference.
He was a big miss last year, wasn't he, with
massive.
his injury after his operation, and hopefully he's been netting, so hopefully he'll have a good full hit this year. Be a big difference.
I'm going to mention a couple of players here. Sonny Ahmed, I want him to be mentioned.
Is he not going in your 5?
I want him to be mentioned. Growing up, I was obviously a young lad. He was the best taxi driver going. But what
he started the trend,
such a talent he was. He honestly, like we said in Manchester Association, he was quality. Probably didn't do as much as he should do.
No, he definitely didn't. But
it was that good of a standard. You're facing pros week in, week out. But he was a legend. Ian Turner. I don't know if you remember Ian Turner. Yeah. Played a little bit with Ian. Geordie boy. Sunderland fan actually, so not a Geordie. But
Mackham.
But he was. I'm talking about quality as in technique wise here more than what people do on the pitch, because I'm a bit old school. Me, I like the technique. I like to see. That's why I like to see all these kids coming through with a straight bat and stuff like that.
Is that why you always mention about me miss hitting sixes? Is that what it's all about? I might as well scrub my name off this top 5, haven't I?
No, mate. You.
I'm only teasing you.
I'll tell you one person I do want to mention is Andy McLaren. Well, I don't know if you played much with Andy.
I played a season and a bit with him. Yeah,
he was quality Andy.
All the talent in the world. He used to frustrate me to death because my ability is not nowhere near as good as these, but my attitude takes me a bit closer. And giving 100% all the time. And when people don't, but they've got that talent, it used to really piss me off. I mean, I've never captained him, so he's never been my responsibility. I've only ever just looked at him as a teammate, and he's always quite a frustrating character.
He could have been a world beater under. Pete Arton, obviously I've mentioned Pete Arton.
Yeah.
When I was a young laddie, looking up to him. I'd like to Mark Cheshire.
Yeah.
I think Chesh was a very underrated player.
Yeah.
Down here, he could bat, ball, field as good as anybody.
Scored important runs, didn't he? And he got a good pair of hands.
Todd Presho, it's an absolute nightmare fielding slip for him because you get nicks and
modern.
He can push it through.
Modern day Etown, he's probably the one, isn't he? He's like longevity.
Dave Jenkins is as I mentioned because of his consistency.
Yeah.
Week in, week out. His attitude to playing and being a dickhead all the time. Ollie Cosmai. I enjoyed the year that he was here. I wanted to mention him because the amount of enjoyment he brought to this place for me. He was
a bit of glue that year, wasn't he? That really pulled us together. And
to be honest with you, mate, you can have a bit of a shit time. You'll come down here and spend it with Ollie, and then even we went to rugby and we went.
That was a great day, wasn't it? Yeah.
But it just put a smile on your face. If you're feeling like shit, just go and see Ollie and let him brand your ass with barbecue. But he was a decent cricketer, Ollie. I'm not putting him in as one of the better cricketers, but his personality and being around the place.
Yeah, great lad.
Your dad, I think deserves an absolute massive mention. I remember batting with your dad at Brooks Bottom once, and it was the coldest day I've ever had in my life. Obviously talking Brooks Bottom, near Ramsbottom, right up in the hills, and your dad just kept twatting it everywhere. Like I was at the other end, so...
He'll be happy to mention that.
But yeah, I think
And you've got 2 more in your. If we're gonna get you to pick it, 5, in no particular order.
Right, I've got you.
Yeah, thanks for that. Ian McHugh
I've
and
got
the Taylors.
Taylors. Right. I think not. Pete Orton, I think, has to be in there for me.
Yeah.
Because growing up, he was quick balling. You know, when you look back now,
Yeah.
I wouldn't like to face him on there.
No.
I mean, you got to think that was uncovered then as well.
And he always, my memory of him was always like, he was like always like an 8 out of 10, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He never really bowled poorly.
I
He
remember,
always had that. He
I
was
remember
always
him
very
bowling
consistent.
to me in the nets once, and I was only like 13, and he didn't even take a step, and he bounced me. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's when I knew what it was like playing cricket, because the bat went like bang.
Yeah.
And then I thought, fucking hell, this is
when
this
you
is real.
realise serious stuff.
Yeah.
Senior cricket. Well, you got one more as we draw to a close.
Right, so I've got the Taylors, Peter, and I think I've got to have. I think it's got to be Sonny Ahmed.
I was surprised you didn't mention him first, to be honest.
When I was growing up, I mean, we used to have such a crack. I was a young lad then. He had 3 nipples. I think one was white. That was what astounded me. It was like what's that film where he's got 3 nipples?
I don't know. Three nipples.
No, it's James Bond, isn't it?
Is it?
The man with the golden gun. He's got
The man with the 3 nipples.
Yeah. But he
Is
had,
that not a
he,
Harry
had
Potter
one,
story?
he had 2 normal nipples and 1 white nipple. So that's why I thought he was ill sound through and through then.
Yeah, because there's something wrong with him, you mean?
Well,
I think we need to find out a bit more about this third, and I'm going to have to make a note here.
He definitely had a white nipple. And
Why do you think it was
He
white?
was Asian. But he had 2 normal nipples.
Obviously, he was Asian.
Yeah.
I see what
but
you
he
mean.
had-
You're trying to put it for the viewers, you're clarifying.
But we had a song about it, which I'm not obviously going to sing.
Why do I not remember any of this?
You probably weren't selected.
Hang on a minute. I'm already in there.
I've got a picture of me.
Prick.
Bob Williams got a pic before you.
Right. And on that note, I'm going to have a piece of cake and punch me former friend to death in the corner.
Thank you.
Well done, mate. Legend.